What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the Layup Game, episode 101. We starting at 1 again. Hopefully you can get to 100 again. This is the Irish Man's Perspective on Football. I'm your co-host, Marcus. Joining me on the panel tonight is Herman. Say what up, Herman.
Hey.
Next up, we got Mark. Say what up, Mark.
Good evening.
Oh, damn.
Next up, we got Brian. Say what up, Brian.
Thanks for joining us.
I'm the one selling the records. They coming to see me. They coming to see the Temptations. Ain't nobody coming to see you, boys.
Hey, what about to say?
You can tell us to like, subscribe.
Yeah. Catch us.
Same
Before
thing
we
we
get
say
started
every
on-
Wednesday.
For 100 episodes.
The same thing you've been saying 100 shows.
Before we get started, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe. Especially if you watch us on YouTube. You can catch us on Facebook and our Facebook group, The Layup Game. We're on Twitter at The Layup Game 3 and Instagram at The Official Delay of Game. Last week was a 100 episode. We had a lot of guests on. We was all together in the first room ever for a show. So please go back and check that out if you haven't seen it. Some good times. Fair warning, it's a pretty long show. Hosting tonight is Herman. Herman, go ahead and take us away.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us for episode 101. Let's get this train rolling again up to 200. So we're gonna hit some NFL news for you tonight. We're gonna do one of our hot topics tonight. We're gonna review last week's games, and then we're gonna, of course, go into next week's games and give you our picks. So let's get this thing started. Marcus, why don't you read the first news story for us? Oh, you don't even probably know what it is, do you?
I do know what it is. Thank you very much. I read it.
Wonder who wrote it for you.
The Carolina Panthers head coach Matt Rule told reporters Wednesday that Cam Newton will get the start, but also said Sam Darnold would get some playing time. Darnold injured his shoulder week 9, but was cleared for contact earlier this week.
You're supposed to where it says Marcus, you're supposed to say that part too.
No, I'm not.
I'm gonna take
Will Ferrell.
I'm gonna take the next story. So, Bucks wide receiver Chris Godwin suffered a torn ACL during Sunday night's shutout loss to the Saints, and he'll miss the remainder of the season. Godwin will finish the season with 98 receptions, 1,103 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
That's a big blow to the Bucks.
Big time, and my fantasy team. But
yeah. But I think they're getting the liar back soon. So
Antonio Brown.
Antonio.
Yeah.
fake vaccine card dude.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brian. Take the next story.
All right. For the first time this year, the NFL postponed 3 games due to COVID-19, Marcus. The NFL also revamped their COVID rules in response to the Omicron variant emergence. Roughly 100 players tested positive and in a 3-day span. And last Friday, an additional 32 were placed on the reserve COVID list.
And Mark, hit us with the last story, please.
Last news we got: the current top 10 power rankings are as follows. The Los Angeles Chargers, number 10. Buffalo Bills, number 9. The Dallas Cowboys, number 8.
Yes.
The New England Patriots, number 7.
Boo.
Indianapolis Colts, number 6.
Boo.
Arizona Cardinals, number 5.
Boo.
LA Rams, number 4.
Boo.
Tampa Bay
Commentary,
Bucks,
Holly.
number 3. The Kansas City Chiefs, number 2. And at the number 1 spot, the Green Bay Packers.
The toe. The COVID toe.
And that whose power rankings are those?
The NFL. What's
We need
his
to start using the ESPN power rankings.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty like at this point, I don't know why.
They're different.
What is
Really?
ESPN got? Read ESPN's top 10.
He like those
Who they
better
got?
because the Cowboys are rated higher than number 8. That's why I like them better. They're like number 2. Or something
I
Number
should
3.
have known.
Number 3.
I should have known.
That's why I like them.
So obviously,
Read it real quick, Herman.
hold
I don't
on,
necessarily
I'm
disagree with that,
trying to
though.
find it. Hold on, real quick.
The Cardinals definitely shouldn't be above the Cowboys at this point.
That's what I mean. I don't see how the Bucks are still that high after being shut out. You know what I mean?
That was
Like,
one
come
game,
on.
though.
Still, they've looked bad the last couple of games. All right, so the
They
NFL
lost to
is
Washington.
Green Bay is number 1. Kansas City's number 2. Tampa Bay is number 3. How about them Cowboys at number 4?
So they jumped them up about 4 slots. Okay.
Patriots are number 5. Lost the Rams are number 6. The Cardinals are number 7. The Titans are number 8. Buffalo's number 9, and the Colts are number 10.
So they snuck
the Titans in there.
So the
Cardinals. The Chargers. No, they're not. Yeah.
Yeah, they snuck the Titans in there instead of Chargers.
Yeah. So we maybe compare them next time.
Yeah, and then I think CBS does one too. We probably see all 3. And
who put that one in there? Didn't you put that one in there, Henry?
No.
Oh, well, Brian did.
All right, so let's get into the hot topic, and it's all the NFL has been talking about all week long. So of course we're going to talk about it because we have to talk about it because we've been talking about it, and it's not like we can just ignore it. But I posed the question. Yep. Did the NFL get too complacent in regards to COVID-19, and do you think this is why they're dealing with this major outbreak, or does the responsibility fall more on each individual team to make sure that they're taking care of business and doing what they need to do? Mark, I'll let you start this one off.
I mean, I definitely say yes. Yes, they got too complacent with it. They got a little bit too relaxed with it. Knowing that COVID never went away, they allowed people to walk around in the facilities freely without a mask. They did all this. I still think because they had more games, they've gotten this far along than what they expected to be. But yeah, they definitely have to tighten down on this. The other question you had about whether or not it's an individual team effort, I think it's the players' responsibility more so than anything else. If you're trying to be out there in the field playing, collecting the paycheck, you got to make sure that you're fully vaccinated to be out there to do so. So yeah, I think the players play a big role in it and not being relaxed with that also. So both parties play a part in it, NFL as well as the players, as far as making sure they keep this thing under wraps. So now they're going to tighten back on the hold on it and require them to be fully masked while they're in the facilities now. But this is something they never should have loosened the latch on, as far as I'm concerned. It should have always been that way.
Marcus?
Yeah, I definitely think they were too lax. First of all, stop letting I think we discussed a little bit last week. Stop letting players jump into the stands. That's one. There's no need after the game to be trading jerseys and handshakes. That's the part I never understood is how you make the reporters interview the players away from them with a mic stand. Yeah, we got these dudes exchanging jerseys and shaking hands and all this stuff. Completely unnecessary. And like Mark just said, why do people walk around the facilities without a mask on? If you're not actively practicing, involved in a practice play or something like that, you should have a mask on. As simple as that. You let Aaron Rodgers walk around there, no mask and all this stuff. And another thing is they don't do enough testing. You should test every day.
And the front.
All players.
Everybody. Yep. All everybody. Players.
You should test everybody. All players. So yeah, they've been very complacent. Like I said, just that alone, the end of the game alone. Stop letting these dudes. There's no need to be congratulating each other, hugging, and all this stuff. And, you're already exposed enough, attacking each other on the field, and the offense, defensive line, like less than 6 inches apart in the other's face. You don't need all that. So yes, the NFL has been very complacent, and it's not only up to them; it's also up to the teams and the individuals. Folks. I mean, what you want to say? I feel like Aaron Rodgers probably should have been punished more severely. I feel like Antonio Brown definitely should have been punished more severely. If you caught lying or doing some other crazy stuff, you should be punished very severely. This is very serious, and you got what you want. You got the fans back in the stadiums. That should be enough. Leave it at that. So yeah, they become very complacent.
Brian,
this is bigger than just the NFL. It's a worldwide thing. I mean, not only did the NFL kind of get caught with their pants down with this Omicron variant, but NHL shut down most of their games yesterday. The NBA is impacted by this. it's not just that they were being complacent. I think that there was a point in time where we were all hopeful that with these vaccinations and things that we were going to get back to a place of normalcy where we could go to a stadium with vaccinations and not wear our mask and enjoy an NFL game. Of course, the variants have changed that situation to the point where that wasn't really a viable option. The NFL, for the most part, I mean, we made it through 16 games. This last, again, this Omicron variant, I guess, caught them off guard. And so many people got it so fast. And apparently it's not as dangerous as the other ones, but it's more easily spread. That, they had to make drastic changes to their rules and guidelines in order to continue to play. So, yeah, we could have locked down. Yeah, we could have been wearing masks. Yeah, we should have think. But I mean, this is America. We do want to be able to do what we want to do when we want to do it. Now, this virus is something serious that we all got to take precautions too. But I think at one point in time, again, we were hoping to be able to live a normal life and not have to wear masks and feel safe. But that time is past and gone. This Omicron variant is spread all over the place and changed the status. And the NFL, I believe, is changing with it. Changed up their parameters, changed up their guidelines to try to get players back so that they could play. Now it's, I believe, as long as you don't show symptoms and have been vaccinated, that you can play.
Yeah, it's stupid. That's just dumb.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You can still spread it.
That's the thing.
That
I
way.
mean,
I think that's why the NFL is in it right now, is because what they did was they focused more testing on their unvaccinated players, acting like vaccinated players couldn't have it and carry it. And that's probably one of the biggest problems. You should have been testing everybody across the board because the NFL has the money to do it. If you want to protect your brand, and like Marcus said, they got the fans back in the stadiums, protect the players, test them all every day or every other day. But everybody should be tested the same. Now these new rules are coming out where, like you said, Brian, if they're asymptomatic, they can get back on the field. Well, you're just spreading it more. Like, how does that even make any sense? You're just trying to get the players back now at this point. You're not doing anything to really negate the spread. But if they had been more cautious in the first place, like if I'm running a team trying to get to the Super Bowl, I'm making you wear masks in the facilities. Even if the NFL says you don't have to, I'm making you. I'm going to protect my team. The team that can get to the Super Bowl is going to be the team who doesn't get affected the most by COVID at this point. That's what it's starting to look like. You got teams with 15 to 16 players out, and some of them superstars. Marcus, because y'all just played a game without your first and second string quarterback. You lose your quarterback.
Did the same thing.
Yeah, Cleveland too. You lose your quarterback to COVID, and I mean you're screwed. So why not? If you run an organization, why not go above and beyond and get the players together and say, look, this is for us to stay safe. We can be one of the healthiest teams in the league. We do this right. It can propel you to a Super Bowl. It just could, because you just don't know what another team, excuse me, is going to lose their starting quarterback. So yeah, they got way too complacent, in my opinion, way too complacent, because they have the means and they have the ability to protect their brand and protect the players and not let this happen, but they let it happen.
I'm curious, like what you guys are saying, that they should test them daily. Is this the same test where they put the swab thing up your nose, or do they have a less evasive test? Because I can't imagine long term for months and months every day that thing going up in your nose is going to be beneficial down the road.
They have another one where they can swab the tongue with it. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But you're talking about football players who go out there and pound their body every week. I don't think
that ACL is more.
But again, I don't know. I just wouldn't want to have to do that every day.
But you
get paid good money to do it.
I was getting ready to say the money that I make in the NFL, if I'm making a good enough amount, I have no problem.
I mean, I have a feeling that down the road we're going to have some type of skin infection or something because of wearing these masks all the time. I think it's going to be something It comes from that as well.
Well, if you don't watch
You know what I thought of? Is these helmet makers? Why don't they make some chin straps and masks on?
It's hard to breathe, they say.
You can't play you can't. You go run around with a mask. You go jog down the street with a mask on.
I'm not a professional athlete.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it doesn't. You can't.
I can't run that great without a mask on.
It don't matter.
Right. So you put a mask on, you probably have it.
You need to breathe in oxygen, clean oxygen. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, I feel like the NFL, they did chug along for 16 weeks. And I mean, for the most part, they were doing good until Omicron. Let me call it the Omarion. Have y'all seen these memes and stuff?
And you notice, like all the other leagues are following the NFL's protocols.
Because the NFL made it so far.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they were chugging along until this one came along. But it just seemed like if they had been a little bit more cautious, maybe.
They could have made it a whole season without it.
Yeah, man. Y'all want to put all the players in a bubble. Y'all are terrible. Y'all don't want to live those like just play football.
Hey, but think about it. I mean, I've seen pictures of some of our players out at the Mavs game, no masks on.
Yeah.
Like what are you doing? Like, think about your team. They're just asking you to do this for like 20 weeks. You're getting paid. You can have a social life afterwards. Or if you're gonna be out, just wear the mask. That's all, that's all that matters. But we'll see. They'll make
who's really good at the protocols and stuff? Carson Wentz. Have y'all seen like when Carson? I don't know if y'all watched it. Well, I'm sure you did. But like every time Carson Wentz was on that sidelines, he had that mask on.
Oh yeah, he does. He's unvaccinated.
Yeah, he's unvaccinated, but he follows him and Kirk Cousins. You really got to give credit. They made a stance, but they follow the guidelines.
But they're following the protocols, which is, that's just follow protocols. That's what they're doing.
And neither one of them have gotten it so far.
All right. Well, we'll continue to monitor and we'll continue to talk about it like we always do, I guess. All right. So let's get into last week's games. The order is going to be a little weird on these games, but I'm just going to go in the same order that we had them in. So let's start off with the Thursday night game. You had the Kansas City Chiefs traveling to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. Chiefs won this one 34-28. Patrick Mahomes was 31 for 47, 410 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, one interception. Leading rusher for the Chiefs was actually Patrick Mahomes again. 3 carries, 32 yards. Clyde CEH, 9 carries, 32 yards. They better get that run game going though, because playoff.
You ain't lying because he's killing my fantasy squad.
Yeah, but playoff football, leading receiver, Travis Kelce. 10 receptions, 191 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill, 12 receptions, 148 yards, 1 touchdown. On the flip side, Justin Herbert, 22 for 38, 236 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Leading rusher was Justin Jackson, 13 carries, 86 yards. Leading receiver was Keenan Allen, 6 receptions, 78 yards, and 1 touchdown. I'll start this one off. No, actually, Marcus, you start this one off.
I picked the Chiefs, and I was right. This game was. We talked about this before. Chargers could have won this game had they kicked some of the field goals. They would have had 5 missed 4th down conversions. I mean, I can understand. Look, I give what's his name, Stan Daly, much props for being that bold. But this is not the college game, and while the the analytics may be in your favor, at some point you guys be like, look, man, let me just go kick this field goal and get these points. This game, like I said, I think they would have won this game if it hadn't been for that. But they didn't step up when they had to, and they lost this game because of, I'm not gonna say poor coaching, but poor coaching decisions, which I consider to be a little bit different. But Patrick Mahomes and Kelce, man, they showed, and Tyreek Hill, they showed out, which helped me with my fantasy game. Beat Herman in the playoffs.
No, you did not beat me in the playoffs. I was already out.
Oh, you was already out?
No.
I play you this week.
Darren.
What them triplets? I knew it was a triplet.
You can beat Darren.
I knew it was a triplet. That's all I knew.
I told him he gave up his first. You get Marcus get his first playoff win.
He's won in the playoffs before.
I've been in the Super Bowl before. Thank you very much.
He just ain't won it.
It was a long time ago.
It wasn't a long time ago. It was about 2 or 3 years ago.
I forgot.
I played your bum self in the dog Super Bowl. So twice I played the Super Bowl.
No, you didn't.
Mark.
But yeah, I mean, it's actually a very good game. But like I said, the Chargers should have won this game. And like you guys are right, Kansas City needs to get that running game going before they get in the playoffs. But it was just a simple game that should have been won by the Chargers. But hey, they made the wrong decision, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I picked the Chiefs on this one. I got this one right too, and yeah, I 100% agree. I don't like the bold coaching calls. Take the points. You know, sometimes it just comes down to momentum. You know, you got the ball, you drove it down the field, you stalled for the first possession. Take the points. You know, when you're that close, take the points. I know you say, "Oh, I got to score touchdowns to keep up with this team," but you have to score to keep up with that team too. You know what I mean? So I don't like some of the calls, and if they had played, you know, more conservative or just took the points, then they likely could have won this game. So I think the Chiefs, I got it right. Brian?
Yeah, just to piggyback off of both your points, you change the dynamic of the game by scoring any points. If you go up by 10, if you go up by 13, if you go up by 15, you're changing how that other team has to play offense to try to catch up in this game. The Chargers had 12 offensive plays from the Chiefs' 5-yard line or closer and didn't score a point. They were in the red zone on the 5 or closer and didn't get a point because they kept going for it on 4th down. It was one of the best games of the week. I ain't gonna lie. This is one of the better Thursday night games I've seen in a long time.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, both teams the Chiefs put up 496 yards. The Chargers did 428. Both of them was good on 3rd down. The Chargers were 46%. The Chiefs were 58%. And the time of possession was close. They were at 33 minutes, 3 seconds, and the Chiefs were at 28 minutes and 12 seconds. The difference was the aggressive nature of the Chargers. And I'm not going to say that it was bad coaching. It was bad execution on the team. Whatever call they play for these, you're supposed to have a special set of circumstances for these 4th down plays.
Especially if you go for it like that. Yeah,
especially if you're going to go for it as aggressive as you are. You should have some good plays going. When you can't convert 5 times in one game, I mean, and I think one of them was like was this game or another game? It was one of these games. It was near the end of the half.
Yeah, it was this.
And they could have kicked a field goal and I think went up by like 3 or 4, whatever, and got momentum going, like Herman was saying. But they tried to go for it to get the touchdown, and you ended up driving all the way down that field for nothing. So I picked the Chargers. I picked this one wrong, but I should have been right.
Mark?
Yeah, this one, I took the Chargers on this one too. But this was a good game. Kind of started off with some disaster with Donald Parham getting knocked unconscious on that. That was terrible to see. I'm praying and hoping that everything's okay with him. He gets back speedy. But everybody was talking about, or there'd been talk about how Kelsey is losing a step. And he lost a step in this game at all, man.
Yeah, one of them.
He put it on. He put it on them. Towards the 4th quarter, Mahomes threw a costly interception that had the Chargers up 21-13. And I was like, oh, man, Chargers about to run away with this one. But Mahomes and company came downfield, drove, scored, and made it tight again. But this was a good game. They went back and forth with it. Of course, those 4th down calls really, you kick a field goal on 2 of those occasions, you got this game. So you throw the analytics out the window and all, you kick the points, you got 6 points. That makes a difference in this ball game, y'all. So
yeah.
I took the Chargers.
6 points, so.
What's that?
They got beat by 6 points. So yeah.
Yeah. But it changes. Like it changed the whole dynamics for them. But they went into overtime. They had to go to overtime to beat them. But I took the Chargers, and I was wrong on this one.
All right, let's move on to the next one. This was supposed to be a Saturday game. We got the Las Vegas Raiders going into Cleveland. Raiders won this one 16-14. Derek Carr was 25 for 38, 236 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Leading rusher was Josh Jacobs, 15 carries for 52 yards. And the leading receiver for the Raiders was Zay Jones, 6 receptions, 67 yards. On the flip side, Bakerfield was out because of COVID. So Nick Mullins got the start. He was 20 for 30, 147 yards, 1 touchdown. Nick Chubb was 23 carries for 91 yards and 1 touchdown. Leading receiver was Donovan Peoples-Jones, 4 receptions for 48 yards. I'll start this one off. I picked the I think I had this up. I picked the Raiders. I got this one right. I know, right? I picked the Raiders and got this one right. This was actually a pretty good game. It came down to the end. Somebody needs to tell Nick Mullins though that he can pass the ball to somebody besides Donovan Peoples-Jones because he was just forcing the ball. He was the leading. He was, man. Like every time he threw the ball, he was in leading targets. He had like 8 targets. He caught 4 of them. But
Tom, what other wide receivers was there? I mean, wasn't most of them in COVID too?
Well, true, but they still have Rashad Higgins. And Njoku was there.
Okay.
But, yeah, I mean, it seemed like when he dropped back, he was like, "Where's Jones? Where's Jones?" It was funny though because it was some ugly football. I think the players, their bodies must not know how to play football on this was a Monday afternoon game.
Monday.
Right? Yeah. It was not like their bodies just wasn't right for it. I guess I don't know, but I picked the Raiders and I got this one right. Brian, who'd you have?
And this one I also had the Raiders. And man, COVID devastated the Browns. To the point, like Herman said, they had to sign Nick Mullins to play quarterback, but he did good. I mean, they put up 236 offensive yards. They were 42% on third down. They did get 2 touchdowns. They were able to run the ball very well in this game too, which is what the MO is for Cleveland to be successful. They actually led, but they left the Raiders too much time, and Derek Carr led his 28th career game-winning drive. With that one, he tied with Russell Wilson and Matthew Stafford for second most in QBs in their first 8 seasons in the Super Bowl era. So I picked the Raiders. I picked this one wrong, but I disagree, Herman. This game was terrible.
No, you picked right.
You picked the Raiders.
I mean, I picked it right. I'm sorry, I picked it right, but this game was terrible.
This game was ugly, but it was actually a decent game.
They were terrible. This shouldn't even been that close. They should have not let Nick Mullins take the lead and almost win this game.
I agree.
No, yeah, but anytime a game is close, I think it makes it. It was ugly football, but if it comes down to the wire, it's a good game. Mark, who'd you have?
Hey, I took the Raiders in this one too, man. You talk about Nick Mullins. He brought him back from a 10-0 deficit. He had him in the ball game, especially after Carr threw that interception in the fourth quarter. But the Browns couldn't capitalize and keep the ball moving and make some first downs. They gave it back to the Raiders with about a minute and 55 on the clock. Carr drove downfield, got him in field goal range. That was it. I thought it was funny. The temporary coach for the Cleveland Browns had called that timeout right before he kicked it. And Daniel Carson nailed it, and he came right back in and nailed it again.
Yeah, it was a prettier kick the second one.
Yeah,
it was.
The second one was better than the first one.
The first one, you was like, did he make it? Okay, all right, okay. The second one was like, yeah, it was dead center. He had it. But I thought it was a pretty good game, and I took the Raiders, and the Raiders won it.
Marcus?
Yeah, I also picked the Raiders. I mean, why wouldn't I when the Browns were down to a quarterback they just signed the previous week? I mean, Raiders won, but I don't feel like they should be happy with this win. I mean, how you not destroy a team that just signed a starting quarterback? I mean, the Raiders have been on a downfall ever since Gruden got fired, and those two receivers got released. They really won this, and to me, this should have been a blowout. There's no excuse for this. But I did pick the Raiders, and they did win, even though barely.
All right, we're going to move on to the next game, which was the New England Patriots going into Indianapolis to take on the Colts. The Colts defended home field, won this one 27-17. So that's it for that game. Let's move on to the next one. Mac Jones. Oh, I'm sorry. Carson Wentz was. Wait a minute. Y'all ready for this one? Carson Wentz was 5 for 12, 57 yards passing, 1 touchdown and 1 pick. Jonathan Taylor, 29 carries, 170 yards, 1 touchdown. And the leading receiver was Zach Pascal, 1 reception for 23 yards. And then T.Y. Hilton, 1 reception for 19 yards. On the flip side, Mac Jones, 26 for 45, 299 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Leading rusher was Stevenson, 10 carries, 36 yards. Leading receiver was Hunter Henry, 6 receptions, 77 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Marcus, who do you have in this one?
I picked the Patriots, and obviously I was wrong. To me, this game wasn't even as close as it appears to be. Even though the Colts won double digits, they pretty much dominated the Patriots. They when the Patriots beat the Bills a couple weeks ago, and then the reporters asked them how asked those players, do you feel embarrassed about about how your performance did? They should be asking New England that this same week, because that was downright embarrassing for the Patriots to be on the streak they were on and to come in there and get beat by the Colts like that is crazy. I mean, and how do you not shut down? And basically, the Colts did what the Patriots did a couple weeks ago. Carson Wentz 5 of 12. That's not very many passes.
5 of 12.
That's not very many passes at all. But I mean, and how do you? And Belichick is supposed to be this dude who takes away your best, what you try to aim to do. They didn't come close to stopping John Taylor. Not even close.
170 yards. Nah, heck no.
You can't stop him.
I mean, so what was your plan? Start Carson Wentz? You really thought that Carson Wentz was going to be the problem? I don't understand. How do you not stop John Taylor? How you not have a game plan? That's of course how they're going to beat you. But it's like you guys said before, man. You never know. It's any given Sunday in this league. You teams that are supposed to show up don't show up. Teams you don't think going to show up, they show up. It's you can't tell. It's hard, man, picking these games, man. It's very hard picking these games. Because I remember last week when we made this pick, everybody was confident in their pick. Oh, Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
We were all very wrong. I think Brian.
No. We weren't all very wrong.
I was just about to say, I think Brian was the only one, even out of us and all the guests, that even picked it.
Yeah, he was.
The goal.
I believe he was too.
So yeah,
Mark.
So
I thought you were done. My bad.
Yeah, no. Talk more, Marcus. Take your time. I love this.
Any given Sunday.
Don't.
That's for the proof. Go ahead, I'm done.
Mark, make it quick, please.
Bill Belichick supposed to be the mastermind of stopping defense. So he thought he was going to stack the box and force him to pass. They took a page out of Patriots book and ran it right up their guts. You know what? One other stat I read that this is 11 straight game rushing for over 100 yards. He breaks Lenny Moore's record for doing that for the Colts. But I took the Colts in this one. I was so wrong. Didn't look forward to talking to y'all about this day, because I get to see this dude over here with his cap.
You took the Patriots, you mean? Yeah. You took the Patriots.
I took the Patriots.
Herman, let him
You're right. I'm sorry. Hey, what you drinking in the cup, Herman?
Why? I'm drinking Cowboys juice. I'm drinking Cowboys juice.
Hi.
Look, tell him this ain't the 100 show, Herman.
Right, this ain't the 100 show, Mark. Come on now. Yeah, I picked the Patriots, like Marcus said, confidently picked the Patriots and got this one wrong. Carson Wentz probably threw more passes in warmups than he did in the game. And that's crazy. But you know, you can't stop. You just can't stop Jonathan Taylor. The Patriots scored all their points in the fourth quarter. Garbage time. Like, that was ridiculous. And then it's odd they let Mac Jones throw 45 times. That's not Tom Brady back there. Somebody better tell
well,
Josh
they
McDaniels.
did lose they
had no
lose one of
choice.
their running backs. They only had the rookie, I think, and somebody else. But they had lost a running back before the game.
Still, man, 45. That's way too much. That's way too much. But I guess they was behind the whole time, so they kind of didn't have a choice. But yeah, I picked the Colts and got this wrong, Brian.
My music, please, Marcus.
Oh, I'm sorry, wrong.
That is not the music I want to hear.
My bad. Wrong brother. Hasn't.
Feels good to be graduating 2021, being valedictorian of this game. No, but in all seriousness, I was shocked. I did not anticipate. I thought they had a good chance. I thought they were the more desperate team, like I told y'all last week. But I didn't anticipate them. The Colts won the game. This is the first time since like 1983 that they've won a game with fewer than 50 yards passing, to show you how wild this victory was. And the New England defense let them run for 226 yards. That is unheard of with a Bill Belichick defense, you know, especially when he knew they was coming in to stop the run. But like Herman said, I mean, that guy, Taylor, man, he's like he's just unstoppable for really at this point. Definitely should be talked about in MVP voting. You know, maybe not winning, but he definitely should be mentioned. Because, you know, like Herman said, Carson Wentz didn't have to do anything. Carson Wentz actually almost was giving the game away. The couple of those passes were errant and could have been picked, and he could have actually given the game away on this one.
That's so true. That is so true.
Yeah. So I was the smartest out of everybody, you know, including, you know, Darian, who laughed at my pick vigorously. You know, Big Reg, you know, who chuckled, you know. So, you know, next time, gentlemen, you know, if you need some help on making your picks, just come see me.
Y'all said I was bad.
I don't think I wore this hat the whole season, man. I couldn't wait. And I ain't gonna lie, man. I was like, damn. I was like, if I lost this, because I was the only one. I was like, man. That was fun.
Okay, let's move on to the next game. This was a good one. Packers went into Baltimore and beat the Baltimore Ravens 31-30. Baltimore, you know, challenged this game, came back and had a chance to tie it at the end, but their coach is Mr. I ain't gonna say that because this is kind of their coach is Mr. I got big cojones, so we going for two, and he lost the game for them yet again because he did this like 2 weeks ago. But hey, he's Jim Harbaugh, and he's allowed. Yeah, he's allowed to do it. Aaron Rodgers was 23 for 31, 268 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Aaron Jones had 13 carries, 58 yards. Leading receiver was Marquise Valdez-Scantling, 5 receptions, 98 yards, 1 touchdown. And Devontae Adams had 6 receptions, 44 yards, and 1 touchdown. On the flip side, Tyler Huntley, 28 completions for 28 for 40, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tyler Huntley was the leading rusher, 13 carries for 73 yards and 2 touchdowns. Leading receiver was Mark Andrews, 10 receptions, 136 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So it looks like Tyler Huntley's filling in for he's filling in pretty good for Lamar. I mean, exactly like Lamar, leading rushing, leading passing.
And Mark, throwing to the tight end the whole game.
Yeah, told you exactly. Mark, who'd you have in this one?
I took the Packers in this one, believe it or not. And they did. The Ravens shouldn't even been in this ball game, y'all. They shouldn't have. But they did a great job with getting in there. Huntley held it down. He did pretty good. He held it down good. The plays that 2-point conversion, man, he had Hollywood Brown right in the back of the end zone. If he'd have looked at the second option,
drag route.
we'd have been talking about a different story today. But nevertheless, he didn't. But that's 2 weeks straight. That's 2 weeks straight. They go for a 2-point conversion instead of kicking the point and taking it to overtime. This analytics, man, this is something else with this coach. He's gonna live and die by this. We gonna see what it's gonna put him at.
I don't believe he's using analytics because I don't think analytics tell you to go for 2 right there.
I don't know, man.
Always tell you to tie the game.
Hey, but can you imagine what Tucker's saying on the sideline? Hey, I would have made that if you guys would have put me in there.
I know you do have the best kicker in the game,
right?
Yeah,
right.
in the game, like
yeah. I was with you guys. I did pick the Packers, man, and like Mark was saying, I mean Huntley, he did admirable, man. They put up 354 offensive yards. They was 53% on third down, and they got the 30 points. The problem with them is the execution and the game and the play calls that they choose. Huntley was running all over that Packers defense. I don't understand why he didn't have some type of pass run option on that 2-point conversion. Not only did you roll him out to the right, which cuts the field in half, but like you said, you only really had 2 options, and he was going to the tight end regardless. So, I mean, that play was doomed to fail from the jump. You basically, made it like a 25% choice instead of like maybe a 75 or 80% choice. I think he should have had some type of pass option run where he could have actually used his legs to get that 2-point conversion and win the game. But this is the second time in a row that I felt like their choice in plays were poor or execution was poor. Nonetheless, it cost them another game, and now I think they're like third in that division now, or second.
They're third. I think in the AFC North because the Cleveland.
Because Cleveland lost, they may have felt
they're down there.
Yeah. So.
Good Lord.
Yeah. So I mean, the AFC is so wide open, it's crazy. But I did pick the Packers, and I'm actually upset that I got that one right.
Marcus.
Yeah, also picked the Packers. Like what you guys say, this game is actually a very good game. Tyler Huntley, he basically run over him, looking like they didn't even miss Lamar Jackson. I'm interested to see if Tyler Huntley gets a chance somewhere else because the 2 games he's played this season, I think he's done a very good job. But I also think the reason why Joe Harbaugh went for that 2-point conversion instead of trying to win the game, instead of kicking the extra point, I think it's scared of Aaron Rodgers. I think he thought if give Aaron Rodgers back the ball, he's going to come out there and win the game. Or if it has to go to overtime, then if they get first dibs, then Aaron Rodgers will go out there and win the game because they hadn't done a very good job at stopping the Packers, and actually the Packers hadn't done a very good job of stopping the Ravens either. But I think that's what that was. I think that was a fear of Aaron Rodgers. They caused him to do that. And like I said, had he made it, we'd be having a whole different conversation. But I still think he should just kicked it and put some kind of faith in his defense. Put some kind of faith.
I mean, you got a 50-50 shot of you getting the ball first and going down and scoring.
Yeah, true.
But I guess it's 2-point conversion, and maybe in his mind, a 2-point conversion is a 50-50 shot too.
But still, how much time was left when he kicked when they did that 2-point conversion?
30-some seconds.
It wasn't a lot.
It wasn't enough time for Aaron Rodgers to do anything.
I think it was under a minute. It was definitely under a minute.
Yeah,
it was definitely under a minute. I think they was down to like 30-some seconds or something like that. It was
it was low. It was low.
Well, then I just feel like he didn't want to give Aaron Rodgers. That was give a shot. That was out of fear more than anything else. And I think he should just did. He should just did it because that was to me when he did. I was like, that's the dumbest move ever, and I still go by that. It was the dumbest move ever. He should have just kicked it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I picked the Packers on this one too. Got this one right, but yeah, I didn't agree with his call to go for it there. Not there. His team had fought back, in my opinion, way too hard to get to that point. Plus, they had the momentum.
And you're
They
right,
really
Herman. In
had
the
the
drive
momentum
before that,
going.
they stopped Aaron to get that score.
They did. So the defense had actually stepped up and made the plays they needed to make. And he puts all the pressure on one play. You had a chance there's a chance you could have won that coin toss. You don't know. But why not play this? Go ahead and go into overtime where you have multiple chances for something to happen because there's going to be multiple plays as opposed to just one play putting it all on the line.
Exactly.
And then you have a play where you didn't give your quarterback the option to run because you roll him out and give him basically 1-2 reads and you cut half the field off. It made no sense at all. So if you're gonna go for it, at least do it and have a good play call in for you to go for it. So one time doing it, okay, I don't have a problem with it, but it's been 2 weeks now that he's done this, and he's lost his team a chance at winning the game, in my opinion.
And the division.
Yeah, and you knocked yourself completely off the race. Completely. So I picked the Packers. I got them right. All right, let's move on to the Sunday night game. We had the New Orleans Saints going into Tampa. Saints won this one 9-0. The Saints basically own Tom Brady. They have won 4 straight regular season games against Tom Brady. Yes, I said it. They own Tom Brady. They had him on the sideline acting like a little
throwing tablets and stuff.
Taysom Hill was 13 for 27, 154 yards. He was also the leading rusher, 11 carries for 3 yards. And the leading receiver was Marquise Callaway, 6 receptions for 112 yards. On the flip side, the GOAT, the greatest of all time crybaby, was 26 for 48, 214 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. Ronald Jones, 8 carries, 63 yards. And the leading receiver was Chris Godwin, 6 carries for 49 yards. We talked about how he got hurt in the game. I'll pick this. I'll start this one off. Yeah, I picked the Bucks just because it was the Bucks, and the Saints. You just don't know what Saints team is going to show up. Their offense doesn't really scare anybody, but their defense is actually pretty good, as you can see, because they held Tom Brady to no points. But this one was just your typical divisional game. Throw the records out the windows. Doesn't matter what you were doing now. Doesn't matter that you're a Super Bowl champion. When you get into a divisional game, you better be ready to get punched in the mouth because somebody's punching somebody in the mouth. It just depends on which team does it first. And the Saints did. They had Aaron Rodgers. They had Tom Brady completely discombobulated, throwing tablets on the sidelines. Really acting like the spoiled little child that he acts like when he loses. It's passion when Tom Brady does it, but when other players do this stuff that he does on the sideline, well, then their problem child cancers to the locker room. How's that work? So yeah, I picked the Bucks, and I got.
We boring you, Brian?
No.
Okay.
Just old, Mark. Just old.
Right, that's Mark. Who'd you have?
I'm sorry, Herman. Who did you say?
Mark.
Okay, I'm sorry. I took the Buccaneers in this one, man. Taysom Hill over Brady? Nah, I would have never thought that one. Nah, no way. Cameron Jordan and the New Orleans Saints owned him that night. They owned him. I thought the other crucial play was, you see, Gronk was never the same after he got hit that first connection. When they tagged him that first time and he dropped the ball, he was never the same after that. He had another play where he was wide open, or he wasn't. Well, he was open, and he was looking for the ball, but yet the ball was on the other side. It was like he was in a whole different atmosphere. He wasn't nowhere in this game. They got to Brady real good. As long as they can do this in the preseason, they got something here. But they own them in the regular season. But I took the Buccaneers, and I was wrong on this one.
Brian.
Yeah, I was with you, Mark. I picked the Bucks in this one, man. And like you guys are saying, I mean, like Herman said, I mean, they got Brady's number. Like Herman said, the last 4 regular season games they won. Brady did get them in the playoffs last year, but in the regular season, the Saints are the top, and we probably should have thought about that before we made these picks. Mm-hmm. But I mean, the Bucks put up 302 offensive yards. They had 30 minutes and 16 seconds of time of possession, 31% on third down. But they fumbled once, they threw a pick, and they couldn't score. So I mean, you got to give this, all praise and everything to that Saints defense, because I mean, Taysom Hill and them, they weren't really doing anything. I mean, they had a bunch of 3-and-outs too. I mean, the game really got kind of boring at one point. I don't know if you guys saw the 2 memes. It was one where the guys, Tom Brady, they show him throwing the tablet, and it's a defensive guy trying to pick it off. No. And then there's another one that was a defensive back. This was a tweet. He said, "Dear NFL, could you please send me another tablet? For my friend. He broke his." I saw that. Yeah. And then what was the last one? I had it in my mind and I just forgot it. But basically they were like, every time he threw something, they intercepted it. So you got to take it when you got to take it the way that you give it. And Tom gives it to the best, so he had to take it this time. I picked the Bucks. I picked it wrong.
Marcus.
Yeah, I picked the Bucks. But like I should have picked differently. Like Herman said, the Bucks seem to own Tom Brady in the regular season. What's he 0-4 now?
Hey, I mean, does Marcus have his light on?
Who?
Is your light on?
Yeah, my light's on. Why are you interrupting me doing my commentary, sir?
I'm sorry, you just look really dark and scary.
He do look darker than normal.
Because I got a hat on. Don't worry about my lights. We're about your own lights.
I'm just saying, you kind of like a devil over there.
I'm in the middle of my commentary. Don't interrupt my commentary.
Keep having this show.
Sir. Don't interrupt my commentary. And yeah, they do on them. I mean, I was definitely shocked by the Saints. I mean, the Saints defense. They totally dominated that game. Totally shut them out. And Tom Brady threw for 48 passes and scored at 1 point. That's crazy. So hats off to the Saints and their defense. Yeah, I picked the Bucks and I was definitely wrong.
Hey, just real quick, one quick point though. Brady did lose not only Godwin, but he lost 13. The wide receiver Evans, and he lost Leonard Fournette in that game.
So
I'm just saying, just put it out there. Just trying to be fair, but I'm glad they got their butt whooped.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to this last one. This was the Monday night game. And the Minnesota Vikings going into Chicago. This was another divisional game. Taking on the Chicago Bears. The Vikings won this one 17-9. Well, that means Kirk Cousins won a Monday Night Football game. How about that?
What'd you say, Herman?
Kirk Cousins won a
Give his stats out, sir. Give his stats out.
Did Marcus hear it? Did Marcus hear that?
He was 10-24.
Did Big Reg hear that? Kirk Cousins.
87 yards. He ain't do damn thing.
Can I host the show? Can I host the show, please? Okay. Kirk Cousins was a staggering 12 for 24, 87 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 insignificant pick.
I guess sorry, Bears.
Dalvin Cook, 28 carries for 89 yards. Justin Jefferson was the leading receiver, 4 receptions for 47 yards and 1 touchdown. The Chicago Bears, on the flip side, Justin Fields, 26 completions, 26 for 39, 285 yards, 1 touchdown. David Montgomery, 18 carries, 60 yards. Leading receiver was Cole Kmet. Sorry, you say his name? 6 receptions for 71 yards. I'll let Marcus start this one off since he loves Kirk Cousins so much.
I picked the Vikings. It was the Bears. What else need to say? That's all I got to say. It was the Bears. Of course I was picking.
How about get some respect to your ex-quarterback?
I ain't respect to nothing. He ain't did nothing. That was Dalvin Cook.
I'll say he can't win in prime time. He won in prime. He's won two prime time games this year.
His team won. He ain't win nothing.
Mark, who'd you pick?
I think I long wolfed this one, y'all.
No, you didn't.
Somebody else took the Bears?
No.
I took the Bears.
Where you had it?
I took the Bears.
Where you had it then, sir?
He ain't long wolf. He picked the Vikings, but
I took the Bears.
We go back and watch the tape. You definitely did pick the Bears.
It was only one lone wolf, and I marked it. It was Brian.
Well, keep talking. I'm bringing the tape.
Anyway, let me just tell you, the Bears, man, they were ravaged with with players out on COVID. Pretty much clear their whole secondary was gone. Man, Cousins should have been able to scorch him, as far as I'm concerned. Justin Fields, man, I feel so sorry for this kid, man. He they got to find him the right coach, man, for him. He's out there, man. He's out there looking like a lame duck. Some of it is his fault too. Some of it he got to be able to secure the ball while running better than he's been doing too. But man, the Bears, man, I tell you, they're terrible. And then I think this was the ninth game they lost in 8 games, 9 games they lost, and 8 games they lost, 9 games. They're terrible. But I thought I took the Bears though.
Brian.
Yeah, I picked the Vikings in this one, man. And be honest with you, man, defense was the name of this game. I mean, the Bears did put up 370 offensive yards, but like Mark was saying, they lost 3 fumbles, and they were only 16% on third down. The Bears defense only allowed 193 offensive yards. They got 1 pick, and the Vikings were only 29% on third down. I mean, there was some hitting going on in this game. I mean, they was playing some defense out there. And like you said, Mark, it's really sad that that defense is going to waste with a coach who can't coach offense and has that young guy out there, basically struggling for his life. So I picked the Vikings. It wasn't a pretty win, but a win is a win in December, and you got to give it to them. So I picked the Vikings.
Yeah, I picked the Vikings in this one too. Matt Nagy. That's all I need to say about it. They're ridiculous.
Hey, though, Herman, real quick.
It's funny because the
Go ahead.
What?
No, just real quick. They was
no.
talking.
Go ahead.
Hey,
They did what?
He did pick the Bears. He did pick the Bears.
Did he?
Yes, he
Okay,
did.
well, put your damn hat on. We
Put
want
your
to hear
damn
some
hat
music.
on. He picked the Bears.
I gotta get it.
Oh Lord, this guy. Next week he wears the hat the whole game, the whole show. Hey, but just real quick, Herman,
I'll wait for you next week.
They put up like the total wins and stuff of 2 coaches, and they want you to guess who was whose. And one was Matt Nagy's, and one was the Niners head coach. And Matt Nagy has a better record than the Niners head coach. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, y'all got to remember that he's made the playoffs like the last 3 years.
Wow, that's shocking.
Yeah, I was shocked myself.
I wouldn't believe that one.
Yeah, but you're right. He
That's
is a
shocking.
dead man walking. I'm surprised that he didn't get fired after this game. I guess they don't got nobody really that they want to put it in place. But
Ain't no point this late in the season.
I mean, you get started on your new head coaches.
All right. So, how'd y'all do this week?
I
4 and
did
2.
1, 2, no 1,
I was
2 and 4.
4 and 2.
3,
Terrible.
4, 4 and 2.
All right, 4 and 2s and 2 and 4.
For the season, I'm 56 and 28. Not too bad.
Somebody else you what you want. I know. I think I need to see documentation. I don't believe that.
I got it. I was written down, sir.
Yeah,
56
that's
and
a
28.
little. That's a little.
I want you to go back to the show.
Let's go.
We're gonna go through each show.
All right, let's go. We got the first game, Thursday night game. 8-6 49ers are going into Tennessee to take on the 9-5 Titans. The Niners are favored in this.
Yeah.
Giving up 3.
Yeah.
Really? Wow. That's a little bit of a shocker.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, the Niners
Mark,
are hot.
Didn't the Titans lose to the Steelers?
What?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
They did.
Mark, who you got in this one?
I'm rolling with the hot 49ers, man. They hot right now. I'm taking the Niners.
Marcus?
I'm going with the 49ers. They're hot. Titans are not hot. So I'm going with the 49ers.
Brian?
Yeah, the 7th-ranked 49er defense against the 4th-ranked Titans rushing offense. Give me the Niners.
Cue up my music, please. It's time for the Niners' hot streak to come to an end. Give me the Titans at home.
I'm just curious how you anticipate them winning this game.
You know I'm on that Titans bandwagon.
But
They
no
just
Derrick
lost to
Henry.
the Steelers.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
They just lost to a dead
Jimmy
man walking.
Garoppolo versus
Beating up.
Tannehill.
You've been beating up Ben
Doesn't
all
matter.
year long.
They're home.
They just lost to Ben. You sure you don't want to change that pick, Herman?
I worry about my picks. You worry about yours.
Okay. All right.
No,
Make
sir.
sure you have your hat ready. Make sure you have your hat ready, unlike some people down there. That's
My
right.
hat
Be
will be
prepared.
ready.
All right, be prepared. No, not that
Thank
one.
you very much.
The other one, the colorful
This
one.
one.
No,
No,
that
the
is
colorful
the
one will
opposite
not
of
come
color.
out. All right. Moving on. We got the Saturday. Yeah, this is Saturday games because of Christmas. The 7-7 Browns going into Lambeau to take on the 11-3 Packers. Why are the Packers not favored by more than 7.5? I don't understand that. I'll start this one first. Packers. Brian, who you got?
Yeah, 6th-rate Browns defense against the 9th-rate passing offense of the Packers. The Packers roll.
Mark
Packers.
and Marcus.
The only bright side to this game for the Browns is they used to play in cold weather. Other than that, Packers all day.
All
You
right.
know, though, they could run that ball down with Chubb, and if they could run that ball, they do.
They
have a
could.
chance.
We have to see. Next
But that ain't gonna
Saturday
happen.
game
It ain't happening.
is going to be the 8-6 Colts going into Arizona to take
Where?
on the Cardinals.
Where?
Where they play? Huh?
That was a specimen.
To take on the Cardinals. The Cardinals are only favored by 1 point. Dang, they didn't even get the standard 3-point home game favor. Who you got in this one, Brian?
We got the number 1 Colts offense, rushing offense, versus the 9th-ranked Cardinals defense. I think the Cardinals get back on track. Give me the Cards.
Marcus, who you got on this one?
I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm gonna go with the Colts. I don't have too much faith in the Cardinals right now. They've lost 2 in a row. They lost to Detroit for all teams. Unless they got a plan to stop John Viteller, I can't see them win this game. So I'm gonna go with the Colts.
Mark.
Man, I'm struggling with this one. Didn't the Cardinals lose Hopkins for the season?
Yes.
He's out for the season.
Man, I'm struggling with this one. I really am.
Carson Wentz, Kyler Murray.
I think Kyler will pull him out. I'm gonna take the Cardinals on this one.
All right. Well, I'm going with the Colts in this one too, Marcus. You just can't stop. No, nobody going to move.
Oh, yeah? Oh,
No.
my bad.
Me and you took the Colts. They took the Cardinals.
Okay,
You can't stop Jonathan Taylor. You
contain them. You can't stop
Yeah,
them.
you may try to contain them, but the Cardinals are reeling right now. I think they're going to be that classic team that got hot early and then cooled off in December and then one and done in the playoffs. So the Colts. All right, next game. This one ought to be a good one. We got the rematch. We got the 8-6 Bills going into New England to take on the 9-5 Patriots. Patriots are 2.5-point favors. I'll start this one off. I'm going to go with the Bills. I know the Patriots was on a nice streak, and they beat the Bills. The Bills have to get this one. They have to get this one on the road. So I'm going with the Bills. Brian, who you got?
Yeah, you got the number 1 ranked Bills defense against the number 3 ranked New England offense. I agree with you, Herman. I think the Bills are pissed at the way that they beat them the last game, and I think they want revenge. And you're right, they need this. Give me the Bills.
Marcus?
I'm gonna go with the Patriots. I think the Patriots do it again. It won't be as bad as the last time, but I really don't have any faith in the Bills at this point. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Patriots again.
And Mark.
I'm gonna probably take the Patriots on this one also. This is a must-win game for both teams, man. I think the Patriots will pull it out again.
All right. So now we got the Sunday night game. We got the 6-8 WTF going into Dallas to take on the 6-8 WTF going into Dallas to take on the 10-4 Cowboys. Cowboys are favorites, giving up 10.5 points. Marcus, who you got on this one?
That's my answer. You know who
Pick
I
a
got.
team that doesn't
Was
play
that
anymore.
loud?
Washington football
Funky
team.
music? Yeah, he's lone wolf in this one.
Washington football
Mark,
team,
who
sir.
you got? Yeah, I heard
I'm
what you
not
said. You'll be lone
taking
wolf.
Dallas no more. I'm not messing with Dallas no more. Come on, that Washington football team. I'm taking the Washington football team, y'all.
You know what?
So I will not
He
be
just does
lone
that
wolf,
dumb
sir.
He just does that dumb shit to keep him from having to
Hey, this is a kid show. This is
Sorry.
language, sir. Language.
I don't even need to ask. Well, I got the Cowboys. Brian, go ahead. Tell us why.
And
we're
the
gonna
12th ranked defense against the number 1 ranked all.
win.
Mike, sir, how dare you?
Whatever.
I'm curious how y'all are planning on winning this game when y'all still got half your team in COVID
It
protocol.
don't matter. We gonna
And
win.
what? And Gilbert, great playing quarterback.
Hey, I believe in Gilbert.
You believe in Gilbert, great. Y'all
And
just
Gilbert we
lost to
trust.
the Eagles
And
yesterday.
Gilbert we trust.
Okay.
That's right. Gilbert, we
All right.
trust.
I think they should both have to wear the hat for picking this one.
I think
Knowing
so,
the
too.
Cowboys gonna win that. Not only that, but they're gonna put on their championship NFC East Division championships in there. And also, how dare you, Dan Snyder, try to send in your own little benches because y'all were mad that we brought our benches into y'all's table. How dare y'all? How dare you, copycats?
Move on.
Cowboys.
Sir.
Alright.
Move on.
So the last game is a Monday nighter. We got the 7-7 Dolphins going into New Orleans to take on the 7-7 Saints. The Saints are 3-point favorites. Mark, who you got in this one?
I'm gonna take the Saints at home. They hot off that Buccaneers win. I'm taking the Saints.
Marcus?
I'm taking the Dolphins. I believe in the Dolphins.
Brian?
The 16th ranked passing offense of the Dolphins versus the 15th ranked defense of the Saints. I like the Saints in this one.
Going with the Dolphins. The Dolphins they've been playing some pretty good football.
They have.
And I think their defense can definitely slow down the Saints offense, which is already.
It ain't hard to do.
Yeah,
I'm going with the, right. So I'm going with the Dolphins on this one. So that's our last game of the week. We just have our final thoughts, and then we will take it home. So, Mark, give us your final thought.
The only thing I have to say, man, wishing everybody out there, fans and all, a happy Merry Christmas. Just remember what the true meaning of Christmas is about. Don't drink a lot of eggnog. Enjoy yourself. We see you next week.
Brian?
Yeah, I was going to pick it back on what Mark said. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, be safe, enjoy your families, stay safe, stay masked up. This new Omicron is no joke. You might not get as sick, but you don't want to catch it. So, do follow your protocols and, just enjoy your family. And like Mark said, remember the reason for the season, and it's not what gifts you get.
Same thing here. Everybody be safe. Enjoy this time with your family. Merry Christmas. Remember the reason for the season. And make sure that you listen to The Temptations' Silent Night. and make sure that you watch A Christmas Story at least 3 or 4 times. Exactly. Your TV should be on there's 2 channels that play it. That's where your TV should be. Christmas Eve.
Yes, TNT.
That's it. Everybody have a Merry Christmas. We will be here next week. Marcus, take it.
I just want to, reiterate the points. Everybody have a Merry Christmas. Enjoy your time with the family. Also, be careful. Like I said, this Omicron variant isn't a joke. We see how it's affecting the country and the whole world, as a matter of fact. And while you watching Christmas Story, I'm sure you can find another great Christmas movie on the channel somewhere. Die Hard.
Yes,
so don't forget to go check
yes,
out
you
Die
can,
Hard.
Yes,
check out Die
you
Hard.
sure can.
Yes,
It's not a Christmas movie.
Yes.
Be sure to go check that out too.
There is no Santa Claus. There is no Rudolph.
There's a
There is
Christmas
no
tree.
gifts opening.
Christmas song.
Not a
Christmas
Christmas
movie.
movie.
Die
Not a
Hard.
Christmas movie. It's a movie
Hard.
that happened around
Die
Christmas time. Not
Die
a Christmas
Hard
movie.
equals 8 greatest Christmas
Matter
movies.
of fact, watch Rocky 4, and that's a Christmas movie. Rocky 4.
Die Hard. Die Hard.
Here we go.
The best Rocky of them all.
You a lie. See, as you tell people, some people on this platform.
You started this mess, Marcus, knowing how much arguments that whole conversation caused.
Well, look, we know Die Hard is the greatest movie of all time.
Friday after.
Ask Joy Taylor. Ask Joy Taylor if it's a Christmas.
I don't get what Joy Taylor.
Yep, there you go, Darren. Friday after next. That's a Christmas movie too.
That's another good Christmas movie.
Santa Claus is in that one at least.
It's a drunk black Santa Claus.
He's dressed like Santa Claus.
Just move on. And everybody knows that Rocky 3 is the best Rocky ever.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't going to let it go without saying that. I knew he wasn't going to let it go. Hey, woman. Hey, woman.
I want to encourage everyone to like, share, subscribe, especially if you watch it on YouTube. You catch us on Facebook and our Facebook group, The Live Game. We're on Twitter at The Live Game 3, and we're on Instagram at The Official Delay of Game. Merry Christmas. See you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace. We out.
Peace.